What if everything we thought we knew about Outlander was a lie? Imagine the impossible Faith Fraser, the daughter Claire and Jamie lost, not only alive, but about to change the course of history. The grief, the heartbreak, the years of mourning, was it all for nothing? In the explosive premiere of Outlander Season 8, a revelation so shocking unfolds that it threatens to rewrite the very fabric of Claire and Jamie's story. How could Faith have survived? Who kept her hidden all these years? And most importantly, why is she returning now? Buckle up, because this twist is about. The answers are tangled in a web of deception, danger, and a deadly mission that could change everything for Jamie and Claire. Outlander Season 8, Episode 1 does not begin with joy, but with haunting whispers that echo through time itself. Claire is haunted visions of a little girl with striking blue eyes that mirror Jamie's, invade her mind. They're not fleeting dreams or passing thoughts. They feel tangible, as if they belong to a life she never lived but somehow remembers. The laughter of a child, the warmth of small hands in hers, it's all too real. But how could it be? Determined to uncover the truth, Claire embarks on a journey more treacherous than she ever imagined. Each step pulls her deeper into a web of secrets where the line between past and present blurs, and where forces more powerful than she ever faced are determined to keep the truth buried. This isn't just a matter of sanity, it's a battle for survival. Because someone, somewhere, doesn't want Faith's existence to come to light. Meanwhile, Jamie is caught in a storm of emotions, hope, disbelief, and unbearable grief all crash into him at once. Could it be possible that the daughter he mourned, the child he never got to hold, is still alive? The thought is almost too much to bear. How could he have spent all these years believing she was lost, only to find out she might be out there, waiting? But as Jamie and Claire dig deeper, their search turns into something far more dangerous. They're not just looking for their child anymore. They're unraveling a conspiracy so profound that it threatens to upend everything they thought they knew about their past, their family, and even time itself. Enemies from their past resurface, shadows lurking in every corner, determined to bury the truth forever. But why would someone keep Faith's existence a secret? And who would be cruel enough to take her away from her parents? As Claire uncovers clues that lead to a dangerous revelation, she realizes that Faith's return is not a miracle, it's a curse. It's a trap set by an old enemy seeking revenge, using Faith as a pawn in a deadly game. And Claire is the only one who can save her if she survives the journey. Faith's return changes everything for Jamie and Claire. It forces them to question their past decisions, their faith in each other, and even the love they fought so hard to protect. But with enemies closing in and secrets threatening to tear them apart, they must find the strength to face the darkest truth of all. Because Faith's return is only the beginning. And the end could be far more tragic than they ever imagined. This is just the beginning of a story that will unravel everything we thought we knew about Outlander. Faith's return is a revelation that will change the Fraser family forever. But at what cost? The answers lie ahead, tangled in love, loss, and a deadly mission that could be Claire's last. The truth is coming, and no one is ready for it. As Claire delves deeper into the mystery of Faith's return, she encounters a figure from her past, someone she never expected to see again. Master Raymond. The enigmatic healer who once saved her life holds secrets that defy time itself. But his knowledge comes at a price. When Claire confronts him, he speaks in riddles, warning her that some truths are better left buried. He tells her that Faith's existence was never meant to be known, and that pursuing this path will lead to unspeakable danger. But Claire is relentless. She refuses to let fear stop her from finding her daughter, no matter the cost. Master Raymond reveals that Faith was taken at birth by an ancient order known as the Shadows of Fate, a secretive group that manipulates time for their own dark purposes. They saw Faith's birth as a threat, a child born out of time who could change the course of history itself. To protect their power, they hid her away, erasing all traces of her existence. But something went wrong. The timeline began to unravel, and Faith's presence started to echo through time, calling out to her mother. That's why Claire has been seeing those haunting visions. They're not dreams, they're echoes of Faith's life, reaching across time, desperately seeking her parents. Horrified by this revelation, Claire realizes that Faith has been alive all along, growing up in a world where she never knew her real parents. But why now? Why are the echoes only appearing now? Master Raymond reveals the chilling truth: Faith is in grave danger. The shadows of fate are preparing to eliminate her once and for all, to restore the timeline and protect their power. If Claire doesn't find her in time, Faith will be lost forever. Driven by love and fear, Claire races back to Jamie with the truth. But Jamie's reaction is not what she expects. He's furious. Furious that she kept this from him. Furious that she risked her life for answers. But underneath the anger is pain, the heart-wrenching agony of a father who dared to hope, only to have that hope shattered. Jamie can't bear the thought of losing Faith again. Not after all these years. But Claire refuses to give up. He convinces Jamie that they have to fight no matter the cost because Faith is their daughter and she needs them. Together, they set out on a deadly mission to find Faith before it's too late. But they're not the only ones searching. The shadows of fate are already hunting her, determined to erase her from history forever. As Jamie and Claire follow the echoes through time, they realize they are walking into a trap. Their enemies are waiting, ready to destroy anyone who stands in their way. The closer they get to Faith, the more dangerous the journey becomes. The stakes are higher than ever before. One wrong move could change the course of history or end their lives. But Jamie and Claire won't back down. Not now. Not when they're so close to finding their daughter. They're willing to risk everything, even their own lives, to save Faith. But with shadows lurking in every corner and danger closing in, the question remains: will they reach her in time, or will the truth about Faith's return be the end of everything they love? As Jamie and Claire follow the echoes through time, they find themselves facing enemies they never knew existed. The shadows of fate are cunning, ruthless, and determined to protect their secrets at any cost. Every step Jamie and Claire take brings them closer to Faith, but it also brings them closer to danger. They are hunted, pursued by shadowy figures who move through time as easily as others move through space. Nowhere is safe. No one can be trusted. And the closer they get to the truth, the more deadly their enemies become. As Jamie and Claire relentlessly pursue the truth about Faith, their journey leads them to a long-forgotten relic, the Mirror of Echoes. This ancient artifact, shrouded in legend, holds the power to reveal glimpses of the past, fleeting yet painfully vivid. With trembling hands, Claire peers into its surface, and for the first time, she sees her daughter not as a newborn lost to fate, but as a child who grew up in the shadows, alone and searching for answers. Each vision is a dagger to Claire's heart. Faith's sorrowful eyes, so much like Jamie's, reflecting an unspoken longing. She watches helplessly as the little girl reaches out for parents she never knew, whispering questions into the void, hoping for an answer that never comes. Beside her, Jamie stares in anguish as the mirror unveils more Faith's fiery determination, her mother's fierce spirit burning within her, even as she faces cruelty and isolation. She's strong, defiant, unwilling to be broken, but she's also vulnerable. And worst of all, she's running out of time. Every vision offers a clue, a painful breadcrumb leading them closer to their daughter, but with each revelation comes a chilling realization: they are not the only ones searching for Faith. Darker forces have kept her hidden for a reason, and if Jamie and Claire don't reach her first, they may never get the chance. But using the mirror of echoes comes at a cost. Every glimpse into Faith's life disrupts the timeline, causing ripples that could change the past, present, and future. The more they use it, the more dangerous it becomes. Time itself begins to fracture, and reality starts to shift. Events from their past are altered, memories are rewritten, and the world around them becomes unstable. Jamie and Claire realize that they're not just fighting to save Faith, they're fighting to save time itself. The shadows of fate are furious that Jamie and Claire have found the mirror of echoes. They will do anything to stop them from using it, even if it means killing them both. The Ancient Order sends their most deadly assassin, a man known only as the Whisperer, a shadowy figure who can move through time without leaving a trace. He hunts them relentlessly, always one step ahead, always just out of sight. Jamie and Claire are running out of time, and the walls are closing in. Desperate for answers, Claire turns to Master Raymond once more. But when she arrives at his hidden sanctuary, she finds it in ruins. Master Raymond is gone, his home destroyed by the shadows of fate. But he left behind a final clue, a map leading to the Temple of Time, the place where Faith was hidden all those years ago. It's their only hope. But the journey is perilous, leading them across treacherous landscapes and through ancient ruins filled with deadly traps. With danger lurking at every turn, Jamie and Claire must rely on each other like never before. Their love is their greatest strength, but it's also their greatest weakness. The shadows of fate know this, and they use it against them, creating illusions to manipulate their emotions and break their spirits. Jamie is haunted by visions of losing Claire, while Claire is tormented by memories of Faith slipping through her fingers. They're fighting not just for their daughter, but for each other, and for their very souls. As they near the Temple of Time, Jamie and Claire realize that they're not just facing an ancient order, they're facing destiny itself. The shadows of fate are the guardians of time, protectors of the timeline. To save Faith, Jamie and Claire must defy fate itself, rewriting history and challenging the very fabric of time. But altering destiny comes at a cost, and the consequences could be catastrophic. The tension is unbearable. The stakes are higher than ever. Every decision Jamie and Claire make could change the world as they know it. And as they prepare to enter the Temple of Time, one question haunts them. Can they truly defy fate, or will their quest to save Faith be the end of them all? The battle is far from over. The shadows of fate are closing in. The timeline is unraveling, and the journey to save Faith is about to reach its most dangerous turning point. Inside the Temple of Time, the air is heavy with ancient magic, and the walls seem to whisper with the voices of those who came before. Jamie and Clay step cautiously, their hearts pounding as they realize they are standing at the center of a powerful nexus where past, present, and future converge. The temple is a labyrinth of shifting corridors and hidden passages, designed to protect the greatest secret of all the truth about Faith's existence. But they are not alone. The Whisperer is here, lurking in the shadows, watching their every move. He is more than a shadow, he is Fate's deadliest enforcer, a man who bends time itself, twisting reality to his will. His presence is suffocating, his voice a whisper that slithers through the ancient temple, taunting them with cruel precision. You do not belong here. This is sacred ground. His words are not just a warning, they are a curse. He knows their every weakness, their deepest fears, and he wields them like a blade, cutting straight to their souls. The air thickens as the illusions take hold. Jamie stares into the eyes of a ghost, his father, his expression laced with disappointment, his voice a cruel echo of the past. You failed your family, just as I knew you would. The weight of guilt crushes him, threatening to drown him in regret. Meanwhile, Claire trembles as she hears a desperate voice, small, fragile. Mama Faith's face appears before her, her tiny hands reaching, grasping only to dissolve like mist the moment Claire reaches back. The torment is relentless, designed to fracture their resolve, to break them apart. But Jamie and Claire are stronger together. Through the storm of deception, they find each other's hands, gripping tightly, anchoring themselves in their love. This isn't real, they remind each other. We are real. Their bond becomes their shield, a force the darkness cannot penetrate. Step by step, they push forward, resisting the illusions that claw at their minds. The temple shifts around them, the very walls seeming to pulse with an eerie energy, but their love guides them through the labyrinth until at last they stand before the heart of the temple, the chamber of echoes. Whatever truth lies within, it is waiting for them, and it will change everything. Inside the chamber, they find an ancient altar covered in mystical symbols, glowing with an otherworldly light. This is where Faith was hidden, where she was taken from them all those years ago. The truth is right in front of them, but unlocking it requires a sacrifice. The Chamber of Echoes demands a price for its knowledge, one that could change everything. Claes steps forward, her heart aching as she places her hands on the altar. A blinding light engulfs her, and suddenly she is standing in the past, witnessing the moment Faith was taken. She sees the shadows of fate performing an ancient ritual, sealing Faith's existence to protect the timeline. They believed that Faith was too powerful, that her very life would disrupt the balance of time. They hid her away, erasing her from history, erasing her from Claw's arms. But Claw also sees something else Faith's face, her daughter's eyes wide with fear and hope. Faith is alive. She has been hidden in a place outside of time, a world between worlds. But she is trapped, unable to escape without Claw's help. Claw's heart breaks as she watches Faith reach out, her voice echoing through the chamber. "Mama, help me!" Before Claw can react, the Whisperer strikes, his blade aimed at Claw's heart. But Jamie is faster. He throws himself between them, fighting with all his strength to protect Clay and the truth they have uncovered. The battle is fierce and brutal as time itself bends around them. The Whisperer moves like a shadow, his strikes swift and deadly. But Jamie's love for Clay gives him strength, and he refuses to back down. As the fight rages, Clay realizes that the only way to save Faith is to break the seal that binds her. But breaking the seal will unleash the full power of the Chamber of Echoes, tearing a hole in the timeline. It is a risk she is willing to take. With tears streaming down her face, Clay recites the incantation she learned from Master Raymond, her voice steady and determined. The chamber trembles, the symbols on the altar glowing brighter and brighter until they explode in a burst of light. Time shatters around them, the past colliding with the present. Clay sees flashes of Faith's life, moments of joy and sorrow, laughter and tears. She sees Faith growing up strong and brave, surviving despite the shadows of Fate's cruelty. And then she sees the future Faith standing beside her and Jamie, a family reunited at last. But just as quickly as the vision comes, it is ripped away. The Whisperer screams in fury, his power shattered by Claw's defiance. He lunges at her, but Jamie is ready. With one final strike, Jamie defeats the Whisperer, sending him tumbling into the depths of the temple, lost in time forever. The battle is won, but the cost is high. The Temple of Time begins to collapse, its magic unraveling as the timeline resets. Jamie and Clay barely escape, fleeing as the walls crumble around them. Outside, they watch as the temple vanishes, leaving only ruins behind. The mirror of Echo shatters, its power gone forever. But Claw isn't defeated. She has seen the truth. She knows Faith is alive, and nothing will stop her from finding her. She turns to Jamie, her eyes blazing with determination. "We're getting her back," she vows, her voice unwavering. Jamie nods, his love and loyalty unbreakable. Her home, but their journey is far from over. The shadows of fate are still out there, and they won't rest until Faith is hidden once more. Jamie and Claire have defied destiny, but the consequences are only beginning to unfold. The timeline has been altered, and the world they return to may not be the one they left behind. As Jamie and Claire emerge from the ruins of the Temple of Time, they realize the world around them is eerily different. The air feels colder, the sky darker, and the land is scarred as if touched by a great calamity. They have changed the timeline, and the consequences are already rippling through history. But there's no time to dwell on the past. Faith is out there, trapped in the world between worlds, and every second counts. Returning to Fraser's Ridge, they're met with familiar faces who seem off. Their friends and family look at them with suspicion, their memories altered by the timeline's shift. Even Brianna and Roger don't recognize them at first, their minds clouded by the shadows of fate's influence. It's as if Jamie and Claire are strangers in their own home. The heartbreak is palpable, but they refuse to give up. Determined to restore their family and find Faith, Claire dives into her books, searching for answers about the world between worlds. She recalls Master Raymond's cryptic warnings about the void where time stands still, a place where souls can be lost forever. But there is a way in, a hidden portal known as the Gate of Shadows, guarded by the last remnant of the Shadows of Fate. To open the gate, they need the Key of Echoes, a mystical artifact lost to time. Legend has it that the key is hidden within the stones, protected by ancient magic. But the stones are even more dangerous now, unstable from the temple's destruction. One wrong step could send them hurtling into an unknown era, lost forever. But Jamie and Claire have no choice. To save Faith, they must risk everything. Their quest takes them across Scotland, following the whispers of old legends. They face enemies who remember the world before the timeline changed, shadows of Fate loyalists who seek to restore their master's power. These foes are relentless, willing to do anything to stop Jamie and Claire from reaching the gate. The battles are fierce, their enemies cunning and ruthless. But Jamie and Claire are a force to be reckoned with, fighting side by side, their bond unbreakable. Through every challenge, their love remains their greatest strength. They face illusions designed to break their spirits' visions of a future without each other, of faith lost forever. But they refuse to be swayed. They have come too far to turn back now. Their determination drives them forward through storms and shadows until they finally reach the stones. The Key of Echoes is hidden deep within the heart of the stones, protected by an ancient guardian, a creature born of magic and time. It is a battle unlike any they have faced before, fighting against a force of nature itself. But they are stronger together. With Jamie's strength and Claire's cunning, they outsmart the guardian, retrieving the key just as the stones begin to collapse around them. As they escape the crumbling ruins, they are confronted by the last shadow of fate, the Whisperer's master who reveals the terrible truth. By breaking the seal and altering the timeline, Claire has unleashed a paradox that threatens to erase Faith from existence entirely. The only way to save her is to use the Key of Echoes to rewrite history at the cost of Claire's own life. It is a devastating choice, but Claire is willing to make the sacrifice. Her love for Faith is stronger than her fear of death. But Jamie refuses to let her go. He won't lose her again. In a heartbreaking moment, he begs Claire to stay, to find another way. But Claire knows there is no other choice. She kisses Jamie one last time, her tears mingling with his as she steps into the stones, the Key of Echoes glowing in her hands. Time bends around her, the world spinning as she faces the void where Faith is trapped. She calls out, her voice echoing through the darkness, and Faith's face appears, her eyes filled with hope and love. Claire reaches out, her fingers brushing against Faith's, and in that moment, time itself shatters. The void explodes in light, the timeline resetting as Claire's sacrifice rewrites history. Back at Fraser's Ridge, Jamie falls to his knees, his heart breaking as he feels Claire slip away. But then, a miracle Claire reappears, collapsing into his arms, alive but barely breathing. The key of echoes saved her, protecting her soul from the void. And standing beside them, her face glowing with tears of joy, is Faith restored to the world, her existence no longer erased. The family is reunited, but the battle is far from over. The shadows of fate are defeated, but the timeline remains unstable, and the consequences of Claire's actions are only beginning to unfold. They have defied destiny, rewritten history, and brought Faith home, but at what cost? As Jamie holds Claire and Faith close, he looks out at the horizon, his eyes filled with both hope and fear. The world has changed, and their fight is far from over. Outlander Season 8, Episode 1, leaves us with more questions than answers, setting the stage for an epic battle against fate itself. What will the shadows of fate do next? How will Jamie and Claire protect their family from the consequences of rewriting history? And most importantly, what does the future hold for Faith? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe to our channel for more Outlander Season 8, Episode 1 updates. Thanks for watching.